I'm going to show you guys in this video a very simple strategy that you can use to go from $0 to $10,000 a month within the next 120 days. This will require you to really focus and kind of cut out all the noise with all these other strategies that you guys have been using. Just apply what I'm going to teach you guys in this video and you guys will be perfectly fine. So first things first, the assets that you guys need to focus on trading are going to be NASDAQ, YM, and ES S&P 500. One thing that I would keep in mind when you guys are trading these is ES and NQ correlate more so in the same direction. YM usually is doing its own thing. So a lot of the time, if you don't see a setup on ES or NQ, there probably is a setup on YM. And if you guys go to this little button right here, you can actually choose what layout that you want. If you want to have two charts pulled up at the same time, 3, 4. And usually what I do is I just have two, so I'll have like NQ on one screen and then YM on the other screen, or ES on one screen or YM on the other screen, just so you can get a better idea on what's happening in the market, if there's a setup on one or if there isn't a setup on the other. Next thing, when we are using this, we are using lower time frames of 1 minute, 30 second, 15 second. These lower time frames are amazing because all they're doing is printing data quicker than they would on higher time frames. When you're looking at the 5 minute, 15 minute, these time frames, they're all printing candles. But these higher time frames, it takes longer for a candle to be printed. And realistically, when you are looking at the market to take a trade, all you're looking for is the market to print a specific time frame or a specific pattern. One thing too that you guys can do is, if you guys want, you can go and you could have two charts pulled up, but you could have NQ on the 30 second and then NQ on the 1 minute time frame, so you can get a better idea on what's going on in the market. Because maybe there isn't a setup on the 1 minute time frame, but maybe there is a setup on the 30 second time frame. So realistically, all that you guys need to do Monday through Friday is, first, obviously show up, but second, you want to trade for about 30 minutes to an hour every single day. That's all that you need. And when you guys are using this strategy, all you realistically need are, I would say, 2 to 3 setups every single week. You guys don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to be trading all freaking day long. You only need to see this setup a couple of times a week to be able to take a trade. So ideally, what does this setup look like? This is what this setup looks like. We want to see the market make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. Vice versa for a buy setup, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. That's all you guys want to be seeing in the market, is a clear trend that's creating clear market structure where we see lower lows and lower highs, or we see higher highs and higher lows. Now the next thing that we're going to be looking for is we want to see a fair value gap be formed. So usually on these lower lows, we'll see a fair value gap be formed, and then the lower high will retrade into the fair value gap. Then we want to see the lower low fair value gap form, and the lower high retrade into the fair value gap. Vice versa, for an uptrend, we want to see the higher high make a fair value gap, the higher low retrade into the fair value gap, higher high creates a fair value gap, higher low retrades into the fair value gap for our entry. So the fair value gap is essentially our entry model. So if you guys go right here and you type in FVG, you want to get this one that says FVG Nephew Sam right here. And this will automatically print these fair value gaps on the chart for you, as you guys can see right here. So let's go and find a nice example. Earlier today, we saw that price had hit this low right here, created this W pattern right here, and then eventually it started to make these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. As we see this higher high right here, notice how this candle, it breaks this previous high right here, creating this higher high. In this higher high, we can see that it creates this fair value gap. So a fair value gap, for all of you that do not know, is a 3 candlestick pattern. We have the first candle, second candle that overall creates a gap, and the third candle that closes it. So all this indicator of the fair value gap by Nephew Sam, all it's doing is getting a rectangle from the first candle's high to the third candle's low, and it's extending it into the future like this. So like I mentioned, a fair value gap is 1, 2, 3 candles. Usually the fourth, fifth, or sixth candle will retrade into this box right here, this rectangle, and when it retrades into it, that's where we would want to be taking a buy position. So right here we can see we have 1, 2, 3 candles create the fair value gap. Fourth candle retrades into the fair value gap. The fifth candle does it one more time, and this is our entry candle right here. So if we were to have set up a trade, we would basically have our long position set right here at the third candle's low. Our stop loss is usually below the first candle that makes a fair value gap right here. But since we have this higher low and this candle has a deeper low than this one, I would just have my stop loss right there. And then for my take profit, this is the way that I would set it up. I'd get my Fibonacci's from this previous higher low to the current higher high, and my take profit would be right here at the negative 100% level. These are my settings for the Fibonacci right here. Oops, sorry, let me get the Fibonacci, not the long position. These are my settings right here. You guys can take a screenshot or pause the video and set it up on your charts real quick. So ideally the negative 100% level is a very sensitive level. Price retrades it pretty often. So if we were to have gone in this trade, it would have been a 1.84 risk to reward ratio. Had our stops right down here, take profit up here, and within 4 minutes we would have been out of this trade. That's the thing that I like about these lower time frames too, is the duration of the trade is going to be a lot shorter versus if we are on these higher time frames. Now the next step, once you understand the strategy and you have tested it on a demo account, you have data and you feel like you understand it better, is to get a prop firm account. I put a link in the description for my Take Profit Trader, the broke or the prop firm that I've been using with all my students. There is a code that you guys can use that will give you 40% off. And this is the overall way that this prop firm works. You would choose your account size. After you do that, you need to prove to them that you can trade. After you do that, then you start earning money, and then you withdraw, and then you get a pro account. So ideally, this is a better example. Here are some really cool things about the Take Profit Trader that I like. The minimum of trading days are actually 5. So what that means is if you get, let me go over this, and then we'll go over the rules. So let's say you get a $50,000 account. It's $100 a month essentially. Your profit target is $3,000. So you have to make 6% of $50,000, which is $3,000. The most contracts that you can use are 6 mini contracts. So when you go to your broker and you sign in right now, this would be 6. And then if you do micros, it's 60. But I would essentially recommend that you just do e-mini contracts. And then they have an end of day trailing drawdown. So you can't go below $48,000. That's $2,000. Now let's say you bring the account from 50K to 52,000. Now since it's a trailing drawdown, you cannot go below $50,000. So ideally it's $3,000 to pass the account. But one thing that you guys need to keep in mind, and one of my students actually did this the other day and he was like, well, what do I do now? So one of my students, he got a 50K account. He made $3,000 in 1 day. But it says right here, the minimum trading days to get a pro account are 5 days. So he made $3,000 on the first day. Now essentially his profit target is going to be a little bit more. I think it's going to double to $6,000 is now his profit target. But let's say that you hit that $3,000 mark within 3 trading days. Well, you still have 2 trading days left. All that you would do is you would trade on another day, but you would do like a micro e-mini contract, and you would do one contract. You would click buy or sell on any asset that you want, get into a trade, and then close the trade immediately, and that will count as a trading day. The thing that I really like about this is the minimum days until the first withdrawal. Let's say that you go and you pass your 50K account, you'll get a new trading account, new login credentials, You can go and make $5,000 on your 50K account the day that it turns into a pro account and you pass the challenge, and you can do a withdrawal that same freaking day. Apex and all these other prop firms are complete trash. They say, oh, you have to do this. You have to have a minimum trading day of 20. You can't get a withdrawal unless we approve it. Like, there's so many stipulations in the way of traders getting paid out from Apex and other freaking shitty prop firms like that. That's why I love Take Profit Trader. I have students that are getting paid out within 2 weeks of getting their account, even sooner than that. So like I said, there is a link in the description. Withdrawal process is immediate. If you guys want to look at this and figure it out, completely up to you. But like I said, there's really no risk. It's use this code right here. It gives you 40% off. You guys can see a 50K account is $100. That's cheap. 75, 147, 100K. Like, if I were some of you, I'd go for the 100K or the 150K just so you can get a bigger bang for your buck. Because if you get a 100K account passed, that's instead of you trying to pass two 50K accounts, you just get it done with one try and you get $100,000 funded. And the maximum accounts that you guys can have with them, or the maximum equity, is $400,000. So it's quicker if you just take the challenge 4 different times, or you could use a trade copier. And I'll make a video about that soon, but I'll go for the 100K or 150K guys. And like, this is the process. All you have to do is just put in the work, guys. Like, click the link in the description, get a prop firm account whenever you're ready. If you guys feel like you already know how to trade and you understand my strategy well enough, dude, get a prop firm account. Click the link in the description, go invest $100, $200 into yourself, pass the account, start freaking really making some money from trading, because this is going to expedite the process like crazy. Instead of you using your own money, trying to flip 1K to 2K and doing 100% returns in a month, it's just not real. And you have to be real with yourself. So OPM, other people's money. Use other people's money so you can make money. And then once you have a couple of withdrawals of 20, 30, 40, 50K, then put it into a Trade-Evade account and trade your money on your own. This is the process, guys, on how you guys can kill it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.